you ever have a standoff with a mountain lion? Not a standoff. I have been around a mountain lion, yes. But I was with other people and we had a camp and it was just trying to see if there was food around. And when it saw the number of people, it did not, bother us. They just, you have, it's almost like bear spray. You have these different things to keep them at bay. We ended up just getting in a vehicle after a bit, or hiking back over to a vehicle. They're expected. There's certain areas that have a lot of mountain lions. And if you're alone, it's a problem. But if you're in a group, it can be a lot better. I think the most dangerous animal that I've had to deal with genuinely is just wild boar. I will always say it. I will always say it. Wild boar are the worst. They're fucking assholes. They're enraged all the time. Imagine Monster Hunter monster enraged mode. That is literally how they are constantly. They're just angry. They look like they're doping constantly. Okay? And that is just how they naturally are, because that is what has allowed them to survive and thrive. Okay? Yeah, and they're tanks. They're tanks. They're huge. They're all meat and fat, and they're just, dude. It's crazy. Do you carry a gun during solo hikes? If you are licensed, you probably should, depending on where you're going. Yes. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, even if you have one, you're not safe. Something like a boar, you'll shoot it, and unless you hit it in a spot where it will immediately go down, it will just keep running. Like, it will just get you. You could shoot it in the face and it'll keep running at you. So, that's why something similar, akin to bear spray, is actually more effective sometimes than just trying to hit them, because at least you could maybe get their eyes to not function right. They have to close them or something. Even then, they'll still keep going rather. So just go to those places with a vehicle. They'll probably still attack your vehicle. Oh, they're terrible, dude. They're the worst. You can rent a helicopter to mow them down in Texas, and they're still outbreeding the situation. Yeah, they're so resilient, man. They're crazy. I'm genuinely impressed. They're cool, like as a case study, but just don't be near them. Don't be near them. They'll just get angrier. Yeah, the more you do something to them, the angrier they get too. So it's just, they're some of the worst. They're some of the worst. And if you run into a wild boar, I just hope you never do, to be honest. I hope you never do. You saw a video where a hunter mag dumped into it and it was still charging into him. Yup, that's what I'm saying. You could boom in the fucking head and they would keep going. Like, you hope you just never get into a situation where you have to deal with it, to be honest. They're too strong. They're absolutely too strong. You're not supposed to touch them barehanded because they have a ton of parasites. Yes, they carry a lot of bad shit. They're kind of like cats in, like wild boar have really, really strong stomachs and almost nothing affects them. So they are often very disease-ridden and it doesn't matter to them. They're fine. It's not really going to do much to them. Yeah, they eat everything. So yeah, you don't even want to handle them if you can avoid it. Are they considered a pest? Oh, in certain areas, not just certain, in a lot of areas, yeah, absolutely. They can destroy populations. They're crazy. They're crazy with it. It ran into a pack while on a walk in Arizona retirement community. It was a whole thing to avoid them. Yeah, you have to have absolute safety measures for it. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, fuck wild boar, dude. Of all animals to run into out in the wild, that's got to be like the one I absolutely never want to run into. Them and grizzlies, though. Grizzlies, I feel like there are ways to distract them. They're very aggro. Don't get me wrong. Grizzlies are incredibly aggro, but they're not as immediately aggro as a boar, and they're more food oriented. So you can kind of distract them with food a bit more and get their attention off of you. Whereas a boar will just see you and be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then they just go. Right? But yeah, bears can be very scary. Black bears are little bitches, like you should still be careful with them. But in comparison, you could just be like, here's some food and throw it. And they'll be like, whoa. And they'll go to it. Or you get big and scream and they're like, I'm sorry. But, it's not always that simple. Obviously, pretend you're going to get killed and take it seriously. But compared to grizzlies, much easier. Boars, no. Boars will just go rage mode. They don't even care if they get food. They're just trying to kill you straight up. They're so angry. It's their natural instinct to fight and keep their territory. It's so strong that it trumps their other instincts. And that's why they're so hard to deal with. Boars are like geese, but pig. Oh yeah, geese and swans get nasty. Swans especially. They're shown as this beautiful, majestic animal. But have you actually just gone up to a swan ever, they'll try to fucking like beat you up. Yeah, they fucking kill people. They do. You know, swans are they're the damn devil. They are so fucking mean. Okay, one of my family members has a little bit of their property backing up to a lake. Not a nice lake, not an expensive lake, like a shitty one way in the back behind some forest, but there's some water. And, you know, they made a little trail to it so they could go and feed ducks and things. And at some point, some swans started shacking up in there. And one of the swans, one of my uncles, while visiting there, got bitten by one of the swans because it like straight up saw him and charged him and attacked him. And that thing had in its beak, oh my god, he was bleeding. He was like fucked up. He was bruised up. The thing, strategically, the way it moves, it's just so hard to deal with it. The way it juts its neck out and kicks at you. I mean, trying to not get hit by that is really hard. If you're not very dexterous, it's just crazy. Yeah, razor beak, literally. And he got fucked up. Just charge it though. I think people are afraid to hurt them, so they don't know what to do. But yeah, you actually just need to push them away. You just body slam them away. Their bodies are a bit more durable than you think. You just push that thing away. You've been attacked by wild turkeys? Oh yeah. People don't realize that turkeys fly. This is something that I realized as a hunter, is a lot of people who have not dealt with turkeys don't realize that they fly and they hang out in trees. They think they just walk around on the ground all day and that's it. They don't fly super high, obviously, and they don't fly for a long time because they're fucking huge. They're fat. They can't do that for very long. But they'll go up in the tree and roost a little bit. Yeah, and they jump. They do. And a turkey jumped down from a branch at one point while out on a hunt in front of someone and started being nasty. And they were like, "Where'd he come from?" They were so surprised. I was like, it's a bird. They go in the trees, dude. Just like push him. Just push him. You don't have to like try to kill him, but just push it. Push it hard enough that it decides maybe I shouldn't do that, and it leaves. And he was like so afraid to push it. He like gently pushed it, and it was like biting him. And I'm like, well, because you're like not doing anything to it. It did nothing. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. I don't know. Grouse are scariest. Grouse, really? I mean, well, you find a lot of them up north, like Canada, Alaska. I don't think they're that bad, but then again, anytime I've hunted a grouse, right? You're sort of ground stalking and hoping you see them either on the ground or up in a tree, just not too high up. It's typically been in areas that are colder and there's less life in general, so there's less noise going on, so you can hear very clearly when there's a grouse. They're pretty good. I think they taste pretty good. I like grouse, not as the animal, but as food, you know? They are kind of assholes, yeah. Sage grouse have giant poofa. They do. Their bird breast is crazy.